How's it going, traders? Today I've got a lesson on one of my favorite candlestick patterns, so stay tuned and we'll get into it right after this. How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about bullish and bearish pin bars. So what we're going to be looking at with the bullish and bearish pin bar, it's kind of a reversal candlestick pattern that kind of sometimes indicates tops and bottoms of a move. Now remember that with candlestick patterns, you always want to, add them to your toolbox. You want to use them with other things like, a moving average or a supply and demand or support and resistance levels or Fibonacci. You want to combine candlestick patterns on top of other things to kind of stack the odds as much in your favor as you possibly can, right? As traders, we can't know where the market is going, but we can stack probabilities in our favor. Guys, if you're new to the channel, please take a moment down below, subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications so that you can get my content sooner and you won't ever miss a video. And also leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear from you guys, and also like the video. So let's get right into it. And we're going to be first starting out, actually, I want to illustrate a bullish, bullish pin bar as an example. I want to understand the logic behind it with you guys so that you're not just, seeing it and not knowing why it might actually have some validity. I'm going to show you why, logically, psychologically, it has some value potentially, right? So we have a bearish move, right? Let's say we have a couple of bearish candles in a row, and this is where a bullish pin bar, what a bullish pin bar is going to look like, right? So it's going to have a move downwards, and suddenly it's going to have a pin bar show up. Now this is a pin bar. A pin bar is accurately named because it has a small little candle body and then a long wick below it. Now what does this actually mean? Often what happens next is that we get a nice bullish reversal. So if you combine this with a level of support, and a pin bar, that could be a great setup. It's a very simple price action based strategy to get into the market, at a support level with a candlestick pattern that is telling you that the market might be ready to move back upwards after a move downwards. Let's talk about the logic behind a bullish pin bar, right? So what you have is you have a bearish move down. Price is controlled by the sellers at this time. That's one thing I wanted to point out for sure when talking about candlestick patterns. When you're looking for a bullish pin bar, you don't want to just look for it anywhere. You want to find it at the end of a bearish move, right? You want to see this candlestick pattern form after a bearish move has already happened. So the bearish move is going on and we have this downward move. And suddenly, what's going to happen is that the bulls, let's make them light blue, they push the price back up all in the span of one day, right? This is our candlestick. Just imagine this as one big, disgustingly ugly candlestick, for example. So this is our bullish pin bar, right? So price pushed down in the beginning of the day, but bulls were able to actually make a stand, draw a line in the sand and push price back upwards. This is a possibility that the bulls are ready to go. They're ready to take their turn and run the market back up. So that's kind of the logic behind a bullish and bearish pin bar. A bearish pin bar is the same thing, just reverse it, flip it, so the bulls are in charge, and suddenly they get rejected really hard by the bears, and that shows that bears might be ready to take charge in the situation. So I've got a couple, signals or examples here on the chart already that I want to show you guys. I am going to be cherry picking a little bit just because I'm trying to show you the idea so that you can spot them for yourself. But remember that one thing we want to see is we want to see a bearish move first, then we want to see a pin bar form right around at the bottom here. And then we want to see, we're looking for the follow through. Some people will wait for confirmation, right? They'll look for a pin bar and then they'll wait to see if the next candle is green, then they'll jump in the trade. That's totally fine. I'm going to show you an example right here. Let's go ahead. I'm working on MetaTrader today just because I like MetaTrader. I usually work on TradingView, but for the sake of this video, I'm going to stick to MetaTrader. Okay, so what we have here is we have a bullish trend, right? Now I included, just for the example in this video, I included a 3-period moving average so that you can see, remember we're looking for a down motion We're looking for sellers to have temporary control, and then we're looking to wait to find where the buyers or the bulls take control again. Look at this bullish pin bar. This is a bullish pin bar, right? So bullish pin bar right here. I don't know where that text went. Let's try that again. I know why. It's because I made it white so you can't see it. Here it is. Okay. So we have a bullish pin bar right here. Now, as traders, we could see this as an opportunity to go long, because look at this. This is the beauty of combining, combining multiple things together. Look at this, right? So we have a bullish trend. Light green. Let's make it light green. Right. So we have a bullish trend and we have a level of support here, right? In the past, we've seen buyers come to this level and show their strength. Now, what happened again? We had a fake out to the downside, right? The sellers seemed like they were in control, but the bulls showed some strength. And sure enough, they pushed the market back up. This would have been a great entry. Now, what you can do with a bullish pin bar, this is kind of the most common practice. You can, let's make this a little bit easier. So this is our entry, right? We've seen the bullish pin bar. We've decided, okay, buyers probably have a good chance of, winning over this market and pushing it higher. We could have set a stop loss, if you like to trade with stop losses, just below the low of this pin bar, and we could have set our target maybe 2 times that, right? So roughly here. And look at that, that would have been a very nice trade. Of course, I'm looking in hindsight, right? I'm looking back on the chart. I'm aware of this, it's not going to be perfect every time, but I'm showing you a good example so that you can see what we're looking for first. Now, if we skip ahead, what you'll notice is that here's another kind of an example. This one, another really good example. I didn't even see this one when I was looking for good examples, but you can see that right here. Oops. Another example of a bullish pin bar. Now, one thing I want to clarify, I don't think I mentioned it before, but a bullish pin bar does not necessarily need to be a green bar. It can actually be a red bar, but we're looking to see that there's a long wick on the bottom, preferably 2 times bigger than the candlestick body, and we see that the close has been significantly pushed back up. So, right, the sellers were in control of this candle at first, and it made it all the way down here, but bulls pushed it back up, and look at what followed. This is a 4-hour chart, guys. That's a lot of pips. If you had taken the trade right after that, you would have been up very nicely, except you might have been stopped out. Look at this. Remember, based off of what I just said, you open on the next bar. If you had set your stop loss down here, you might have been stopped out. That's part of trading, guys. If you don't use a stop loss, that could have been a great trade, but kind of up to your own preference. Let's see if we can find any more. Let's see if we can find a bearish pin bar. So we're looking for a move higher and then a pin bar on the top somewhere. Here's one. Perfect, right? So we've had a bullish move. Now remember, guys, I'm fully aware that these are not always going to work, but you can have, they do seem to work pretty often. So what you'll see here is that price moved back up. We're in a bearish trend, which is actually even a nice added confluence. Not over there we weren't, but look at this. We were having a series of lower highs, and sure enough, what we had here was let's get our shapes out again. Sure enough, we had another bearish pin bar, or a pin bar show up. This time it was a bearish one, right? So you can see our little moving average, it was moving up, price was able to push up. That's what we like to see. And again, a bearish pin bar printed. This one's a really clean one. This one's a very nice bearish pin bar. And then we had a nice market rollover just after that, right? If we use the logic that we were using before, if we place our entry just on the next open, and we place our stop loss above, and maybe go for 2 to 3 times, we would have had a very nice trade here. This is the idea, guys. This is a candlestick pattern. We're using a logical, analysis of price action to see if we can find a reversal in the market. I hope this helped, guys. I know, I haven't done a lot of candlestick pattern videos, but I plan on doing more because I've gotten a lot of requests from them. And price action is a very valuable tool if you know how to use it.